Oh, honey.
Oh,
Well, I hope you're ready for a fright. Welcome to episode 4 of our terrifying plunge into altitudes and horror movies, honey.
here we are at the abyss of amber.
At the Amber Abyss. Yeah, I'm gonna apologize right up front. I'm a little stuffy today. I got a little bit of a chest cold going, but we're gonna soldier on through that. That's a
So
great
brave,
excuse for everything I do
so
wrong,
brave.
starting now.
Ration.
So we're up to stage 4 amber meme now. This is our first stage going from egocentric to now ethnocentric. We're very outwardly focused on group dynamics, and the
Mm.
personal sense of identity is now like a group identity as opposed to just me and what I need. A lot of this spooky stuff we're going to experience in this stage will probably have a lot to do with people punishing you for things that they perceive as universally evil or wicked or sinful. So Amber Meme invents most of the world religions, or all of the world religions that you see today.
It's totally made up.
Particular emphasis on Christianity and Islam because they just have that mythic membership, absolutist ability to subjugate continents. Very,
Yeah.
very overpowered in that sense.
So
Um,
in the development of humans, in the beginning, you just need your needs met. You need to be warm. You need to eat. You need to survive. And then we can
fast
get a
forward.
little bit of free time. Yeah. And then fast forward, now that there are so many people and needs are almost automatically met by a society, we've lost tribes. So we need to start tribes inside society. And the easiest way to do that, cultism, religion, just having sort of a central base of a belief system. And then usually, I won't say always, but usually there's some sort of ritual, initiation, common practice that is believed and followed by everyone. So the abyss of amber is usually, to quote Jacobi Mugatu, someone feeling like they're taking crazy pills. If we just watched a movie
Yeah,
about,
drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah.
yeah, if we just watched a movie about the religion or the cult or whatever, the society, the group, whatever you want to call it, being them, it would be pretty normal for everyone there. In the horror genre, someone of a more clear thinking mind or different thinking mind or higher tier, or however you want to look at it, is thrust upon this
As an
uh,
outsider.
yeah, as an outsider inside this society that thinks very differently or acts very differently. So we do have a couple movies in mind.
Yeah.
What do you got? Let's kick this off.
I know we previously discussed The Village in past episodes, but I think that kind of fits under Amber as well in this case, you know. I mean, the whole idea was that the village was created. They were hyper religious, I believe, and they kind of wanted to start their own little group. I feel like that's a pretty fitting one for Amber. They were trying to keep them separate from the outside world.
A lot of times in our world with the like Amish and Mennonite sort of communities, it's a return to the Amber Meme world.
Mhm.
Simplicity, basic family structure, and universal notions of right and wrong. And it's
Mhm.
just simple. You gotta be
Absolutes.
And
right-handed, you gotta
roles.
be a straight white, all that, all the oppressive bigotry that comes along with whatever my status
Could
is,
be.
my identity is being generalized out that that is the proper way to be. And another dynamic we're going to pick out a little bit too is the red meme punishes you because it's mad, it hates you because it wants to
Bigger
get
and
rid of
stronger
you.
and faster and
Amber
wants
punishes
your
you for
shit.
your own good or because it's the right thing to do. Or at
Hmm.
least they've convinced themselves of that narrative to some extent. So we will see the return of a lot of movies that we celebrated for their magic significance, but now getting more into the Amber Meme mythic, we can return to Wicker Man and Midsummer as the fear of a mental virus, a mental contagion, a hysterical group of
I
true
feel like I'm
believers.
taking crazy pills.
Crazy pills.
Oh, or
um,
even, I feel like maybe even Get Out would be a good example as well, right? It was the town, I guess, right? The whole town was bad.
They were anti-outsiders, anti-other
Yeah.
kind of
I
perspective.
don't want to label amber groups as bad. In horror movies, that's what we do.
I always do, but that's me.
It's
That's my problem. Yeah.
is it bad? Is it good? From an outside perspective, it's different, and it's not what I do or I believe, and so that might be for the better or for the worse.
I mean,
But
in
it's
this
not
case,
always
we were
evil.
murdering people.
In the movie, in this movie, the whole town was murdering people. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're the whole town is the antagonist. In the village, it wasn't religion based. It was because of the violence they had all seen and wanted to escape. And so I will retract what I just said in that if we watch a movie, I never said I was right. If we watch a
Never.
movie that's 100% in the Amber meme, like that would just be a normal movie. The Village is pretty close because no one in it until the very end. If you haven't seen it, there's a twist.
Sammy Land.
Yeah, we the viewer are the outsider trapped in this odd to keep free thinkers in their community from deviating from what they already have. They create this devil. They create this lore of a beast that hates the color red, and they have to constantly be vigilant to keep it out. That's just to keep them in their in the like in the park in their little
Yeah.
in their little area. So they
So the
the
real
Mennonite
villain is
Hooterite,
Amber. The secret, the
Amish
implied
thing,
villain
yeah.
is the Amber. We will see Amber often in horror as either the villain or the hero, because there's a pre-trans thing going on here. Red doesn't like Amber because it's in the way of Red getting what it wants, and that's why
Yes.
Amber's so great at containing all that Red kind of criminality and misanthropy. Orange and above doesn't like Amber because they're wrong, because we've discovered truths that contradict the doctrine of Amber. So we'll see both.
They're-
It's a good guy and a bad guy in horror.
yeah, they could be wrong or not. That's up to Amber, but Orange is outnumbered when society is coming into Orange, less than 500, 300 years ago. Uh, they're outnumbered. And so the best thing you can do is like lie, assimilate, and just believe your beliefs, and eventually Amber's outnumbered as the years go on. But they have a very strict belief system. If you're outside of that belief system, you are wrong until they're outnumbered. And Red and Orange are kind of attacking Amber at the same time.
Pincer attack, pre-trans pincer attack.
Yeah. You have the Vikings, slaughtering whole monasteries, while on the other end of the spectrum, at the time, you have, the enlightened, or at the time, the higher thinking minds, picking them apart analytically. So they're being attacked from both sides, and their Amber's thing is safety in numbers.
Now, we had come up with a theme, but we couldn't think of a movie for it. So let us know in the comments as you hit like and subscribe and join our Discord. But witch hunting, witch trials, this is coming out of that Amber meme. Oftentimes they will target people who are different or elderly or mentally ill and call them witches and murder them and torture them for the good of society, to socially cleanse their perfect
Yes.
world.
Oh,
But
the
we
one that I have for that would be the autopsy of Jane Doe.
Oh,
I think that's kind of fitting.
what
The
occurred at
fear of the witch actually created the
Yeah,
witch.
exactly. The town's fear of the witch, and the persecution of this innocent woman actually made her into a witch.
she kidnapped herself, that innocent woman. No. So what is the autopsy in question? I'm curious, what did they discover?
So they find this
Is that a
body,
part of the
and
film?
yeah,
Is that
it's part of the
Yeah,
film.
they
It's in the
performed the
picture.
autopsy, and that
Doe, the not unidentified body.
they're reporting, yeah, all their findings, and then all this weird stuff starts happening. They start seeing cadavers coming back to life and stuff. Like,
The mistreatment of this suspected witch basically made her a golem. Whoever Jane Doe was, that's not who this corpse is anymore. It's the representation of
curse
of how this town
persecuted.
persecuted this person who was innocent to the point of making them not innocent anymore.
Yeah. And she became evil. Yeah, because of it. I don't know.
I got a horror related vocabulary question. What's the word for this? Ugh. What is
A
that?
shudder?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
made a
I think
whole
Shudder's the best
streaming
word.
series, a whole streaming network out of that. Shudder.
That's a shudder. Okay. My friend at work did that the other day, and I'm like, what exactly, what do you call that?
Like a
You know,
shiver? Yeah, a
or
shiver
what
or
about like a good like a, whew, like a shuddergasm? Uh,
Shudder.
would you call it the hoo-has when it's scary?
Well, that's what I call my vagina. So,
Oh, oh,
maybe a
okay.
shiver? Yeah, like a shiver would be kind of like a not necessarily good or bad, but just
Spine
like
tingles. Well, you have to have spine tingling, and
a
I don't
tingle.
know, like, do you guys feel spine tingles? Like, I don't know if I've ever felt anything that I would call, like, I would call it a
only
spine tingling, but it doesn't really feel literally like tingling in the spine.
only in deep meditation do I feel spine tingles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Aw. Well, what's that? What's
Oh,
that? Like, what is it? Like it's like you when your leg falls asleep and it's waking up, but it's in your spine. Like,
Oh,
no. It's its own thing. It's
I get
almost like a
elevation of my nervous system that goes into my face and stuff. I'm like,
okay.
goosebumps. But I
Mine
don't
hovers
get the
right up
spine.
my medulla oblongata where it meets the top vertebra and it feels like a pleasant numbness.
Okay, back of the neck. Okay, I'm getting that one. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
All right.
Anyway.
Let me drop a little bomb on you. Do you remember? I think it was 90s. The Prophecy, one, two, and three with Chris Walken.
Uh-huh.
He is, I believe he is a fallen angel,
Yep.
and it's like a horror-ish, like suspense picture. I would say it would go in the horror section in movies, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit more of like a thriller, like edgier seat type thing because you don't know what the hell's going on.
So pseudo horror in Christian world, like Constantine, it's kind of like an action movie,
oh,
but
yes.
horror elements,
That's such a great movie. Well,
or
one of my favorites for sure.
then we can get into things like Blade or Dracula proper, where the good guy, the way you kill the villain is just with belief in the higher power, in the spirit of the
Hmm.
universe,
A
having the
ritual
power to
of some
cleanse
sort.
us of. I think I'm of the mind that vampires are fungi. I think that they're a fungi creature. I know that's atypical, but they feel they're the consumers of organic material, and they process morality into fear and evil. But
So,
you gotta
yeah,
let them in. You got to keep your feet dirty in order to get that vampire in your house. They only go where they're welcome.
But they could have hypnotized you to let you in the house, right? I mean, no?
They're seducing you. It's not
yeah,
it's I don't like
definitely.
to think of it as a purely like dominating thing. I think there's a little bit of love going on there.
You gonna
It's a
believe
two
what you
ways.
see, or you gonna believe
It's
what
a
I
two
tell you?
player swing. And The Exorcist, right? The
Mm, oh, yeah.
Big time.
scariest movie ever made. Yeah. Good
You have an
guy,
amber society, Christianity, Catholicism, facing a demon, the devil. That's
just
exactly it. And then,
literally Pazuzu slash the devil
yeah, getting rid of it involves
gets into
belief
your heart.
and ritual.
Yep. And it requires that pure belief. And in a real life, in Salem's Lot, that the
Mm.
vampire can just straight up grab your cross and throw it on the ground. Because if you don't have the power in you,
If
it's
you're not
it's it's
amber,
just a symbol. It's like that's bull. Yeah. If you, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we had to give it its due diligence as a good guy here and there, right? I also came up with Red State. So this is a straight up like mainstream American Christian group that secretly murders people that they find to be sinful. You guys know that
I don't
Kevin
know this one.
Smith's Red State? Oh, I'm
Mm-mm.
pretty sure this is the one that literally the end of the movie is the trumpets of the apocalypse are happening in the background, and the world is going to go into rapture.
cut to credits.
Oh,
We don't have the
Kevin
budget
Smith,
to do it.
outside of his like Jay and Silent Bob universe, made all these like really funky movies, and this is one of them.
Dogma was dipping his toe in.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I remember Dogma. Yeah.
an ironic take on Amber meme mythology. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now I thought of another one that you guys might like. This will be one of those deep cut movies, but it's 2001's Frailty. And in this movie, there's an abusive father who's highly religious, but he's also he's got a screw loose. He's like schizophrenic. So he believes God or an angel or something is telling him to go and kill people and do kind of misanthropic deeds, and he's convincing his children to do that. So the children are like going through therapy. That I thought of one on the
That boy
break.
needs therapy. Adherence to Amber gave a powerless person power because of a higher power.
There we go.
Power.
There is definitely this kind of intermingling with Amber meme and hysteria or those sorts of mental illnesses that make people really believe something delusionally, like hardcore. It couples well with the Amber meme kind of operating system. Most Amber meme is more chill, just kind of like, well, we believe this, but that's just us. But it can turn into hysterical activities.
Well, yeah, when you get into the horror genre, you have zealots, and zealots are terrifying because they're
Zealots.
true believers, right? There's nothing more right than their belief system, and so they're
And
willing
if you
to
don't
die
believe
and
their
kill
cracked
for
out
it.
belief system, they're coming for you, and they
Right.
believe they're totally justified in that.
Yeah, if you're not a part of it, you are the enemy, not just like a
Problem.
conscientious observer. You are the problem and must be dealt with.
And it doesn't end there too. Eternity of burning.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
and then I'm not just going to smite you on Earth. You will be smote for the rest of eternity.
Smoked.
So, with the development of human beings again, red is leading everything. You have these monarchies and patriarchies, and the easiest invisible cup. The easiest way to dethrone the king is to say that there is someone with more power or something, and get a bunch of people to believe that, and then you're outnumbered. It's a numbers game with Amber.
Smaller
Oh.
kingdoms, smaller states, smaller mini nations, they're going to fight with each other unless they're centralized with a common perspective. So it has to be a little bit more universal. It has to not just be like, this area is the best. We're the best people. People who look like us are the best. But people who
about
believe in good.
Silent Hill,
Ooh.
right? Wasn't that kind of a religious, like they were persecuting the girl because of religious reasons, and then she comes back to like haunt the town, basically, kind of.
I'll be honest, I don't know jack about Silent Hill. So it was
Oh, okay.
video
Me
games.
neither.
It was kind of
Oh.
survival video games with spooky
Yeah.
jump up stuff. And then they made a movie. And the best part about it was the song, the Christmas song.
There's a Christmas song.
Right? Somebody let me know. This might
Yeah.
I'll just edit it out. That's the
Somebody
wonderful
look
thing.
it up in the
Yeah,
comments.
we'll edit it out if you're wrong. Beauty of editing.
Great
We'll fix
song
it in
though.
post.
I have two noteworthy mentions here. The Mist. The Mist is cosmic horror, and there's a little bit of that red meme where it's kind of every man for himself, but within this department store or hardware store, some kind of store that they're trapped in, the mist is outside, there's trans-dimensional elephant creatures, insect elephants coming. But inside the store, there's this kind of battle of wills going on between a highly religious woman who's trying to organize everybody, and then just a kind of practical orange meme thinker guy trying to like organize everybody against that. And so it becomes, what do you think the mist is? Well, I think it's God punishing us for our sin. And it's like, well, I think I just don't know what it is, and we just got to get out of this situation and not like think too much about what's going on. So different approaches to the same problem. But you really see the scary side of Amber Meme there, how it unites people sometimes against practical solutions. in today's world, that's coming to a head. That's becoming significant. Perhaps always has been. I'm not sure. And then finally, The Stand. So the world ends due to a virus outbreak manufactured like COVID to end the world population and kill everyone.
Mhm.
And their channel just get canceled. Damn it. But in the post-apocalyptic world, it turns out this is all part of God's plan to separate out the good and the wicked and have them do final battle with nukes.
Bumpty bumpty.
Yeah.
Never touch my disco.
Man, weren't they remaking that sucker?
Do they typically remake King's stuff, Stephen King stuff?
Oh, these days they're on this big binge. It's like they're trying to remake every Stephen King picture as Stranger Things. So they
Okay.
keep redoing stuff that they just did like 20 years ago.
I mean, you guys just did it. Like
Just
20
did
years
it
ago.
20 years ago. Doesn't seem like a long time when you don't watch a lot of movies.
Right. With the whole canon of movies prior to our birth, it's hard to imagine why you need to remake any of them. Keep going. Amber
Yeah.
meme.
Amber meme.
Scary stuff.
I think that's about where we got with it. Just today we were having trouble kind of coming up with like every movie has a little Amber in it, but finding one that really focuses on those elements as like the story or yeah, that's a little tougher. And we're still in the developmental place where like Amber meme filmmakers are not terribly interesting. Like to make an Amber meme film is usually just you're sponsored by a belief system to make a
But
picture that celebrates it.
I believe there are a lot of those films out there, but not in the horror genre.
God is not dead. Coming October 20th. Yeah, it doesn't. They don't make a lot of those types of pictures.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, gosh, what is that about it for Amber? It's a toughie.
We could argue what movies are and aren't Amber for a while. Well,
Yeah,
have a discussion. We're not arguing. But
I
I
am.
think we catch the main gist of how, as a person in modern society, I could spot Amber by associating it with cult-esque type movies. I heard a comedian once say, and it made sense to me, the difference between a cult and a religion is time. Amber is a numbers-based game. The scary part is that you're outnumbered by these zealots who believe that whatever you're doing is the absolute wrong, so you're in danger because of that.
Or like, do you guys remember that movie where the Pope is like he kidnaps children and just eats their heads and leaves their body out on display in the courtyard? That's
This is ringing a bit of a bell, but I don't remember what it was.
or just make up a bunch of nonsense. Somebody's seen that movie. Like a lot of movies get made. You can look up any random title. There's a movie called that.
I thought I was some
Flying
sort
with
of
Fingers. I'll bet you that's a movie. Look it up. Flying with
I
Fingers.
thought I was some sort of like cinematic genius. Like, why haven't they made Zombabies yet? It's already out there. It's like an independent hour 20.
Babies.
Yeah,
Oh my
Zombabies.
god. So you had this idea that there should be a movie called Zombabies, and then you just looked it up and it already exists.
We were watching some movie about zombies.
Yeah, and we were just playing on iterations of, different zombie words.
Yeah. Oh god, this is going to become a zombie. That's going to become a zombie. And then we usually yell jump scare at each other before the jump scare happens.
Well, he does, and he scares me, and I'm just sitting there trying to mind my business.
She gets
the
scared
movie.
by
Just
me
because it's
yelling jump
quiet
scare,
and things are
and then
moving
she gets
slow.
scared by the jump scare again. So it's just a little more bang for your buck. But there was
Quiet, dark,
like
and slow. That's the rules.
there was like
get
a
ready.
pregnant zombie or something. I don't know.
Oh,
It came about naturally by watching some zombie movie. Zombabies.
oh! I wanted to mention too. I kept bringing up the Witchcraft series, like with the 8 movies that are pseudo softcore porn. I looked it up. It's made by Troma. I wanted
Oh,
everyone to
there's
know.
the pseudo
Like
softcore porn.
that's why it made it to a video store, as it was one of the Troma pictures.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, I mean, you can't something about Troma. You can't be mad at him. You just can't stay
Sergeant
mad.
Kabuki Man. uh, Toxic Avenger.
Tromeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
And of course, Cannibal the Musical.
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
Weirdly, a little off color for their brand, but
Juan Schwartz
gotta
and
love it.
Matt Stone.
All right, loves. I think that might do for Amber. We've been asking Chat GPT, and we find that we're not totally off base with some of our picture ideas here. So we're gonna start getting rational and global here next up with our orange meme rational achiever and flicks pelliculas in that vein. Blood, vein, horror.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah. James, what we need out of you is for our videos, we need the little stinger. What do you call it that they put on the movie? Like, just when you thought the closet door was safely closed.
Yeah, it was ajar. I forget what those are called.
What? See, I knew it. We need that. We need those for our videos.
Call outs. I don't remember.
Yeah, wait. There is a word for that.
I'm sure there is. Teaser.
You thought you were alone. You don't suppose correctly.
Well, watch the movies, comment, like, subscribe, join us on Discord.
Yeah,
Tell us everything we did wrong.
Yeah, let us know if you agree, disagree, or give us other suggestions of movies you think fit in Amber that we should check out.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
just did in comments answered. I just did a direct discussion with my Amber Meme community out there, directly talking to Amber Meme Christian true believers in America. So don't forget to catch that one if that's your predisposition and you're like, what do these guys think about, my criticism of their entire thing they're doing?
Absolutely. I mean, even in our teaser trailer that you'll find on YouTube, altitudes and spiral dynamics is unique that it does encompass religion, not right, not wrong. It's just part of the whole thing.
Perspectives, just
Yep.
perspectives that we hold. Yeah. Well, we just adore you and thank you for watching our thrilling analysis of altitudes of horror movies.
Love you. Bye.
See you next time.
Don't blow it. Give people the tools to spot levels and altitudes in the wild. Yesterday we were at a public house called what was it called?
Ale Marys.
And I forget what we were talking about, but Danielle asked something, and I was able to reference magenta. I was like, "Yeah, that's because that's magenta," and she immediately got what I was talking about. Like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I love it. Awesome. In green meme world, magenta is pretty embraced. Like in our day, like there's
People
a lot
want
of
that simplicity. They want that like,
astrology and crystals and yeah.
holistic everything. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Mechanical.
things. Yeah, organical pizzas. I think it's easy to view that as like, oh, things was just much more simple.
Mm-hmm. Well, but
Kind of.
weirdly, Amber meme is simple too, but people, green meme hates it, Don't tell me what to think,
It's like navigating your meme, weaving through this other.
Simplicity with freedom, I think maybe is the cocktail. Green meme needs that freedom.
Things were just so much more simple and honest during magenta times. Well, people died of the common cold and then blamed it on not planting the right crops that year.
That's another comments answer to someone was like, wait, you're telling me that amber dude is higher up in the stages than that magenta dude? And I was kind of like, oh, darn, you're right. Like I kind of depicted them in like I made magenta out to be like the best sort of magenta and amber is like the worst sort of amber.
That's
And
where, we gotta draw that fine
Gotta be
line.
fair.
It's not right or wrong.
And I said just what you said, like this person is probably not alive because they don't have quality medicine and they don't have quality nutrition and they all have diseases and parasites. Like that person is probably dead.
Yeah, as we move up, there's spare parts people that don't need to exist.
But not
Magenta
a magenta, everyone's
rule.
priceless.
Yeah, like I need this whole tribe together at all times because if we don't, we'll freeze, starve,
When they
being,
kill you, it's a sacrifice. Like they're giving up
yeah,
something of
they're
value.
losing something, not just like losing the companionship, the camaraderie.
Of
Yeah, they're
course.
losing one of their fingers that helps them survive.
Ooh, what is the purge? What altitude is the purge?
Heal.
Why do they do the purge? Is it a population? Oh no, it's because people need to vent. People have
It's
pent
both.
up.
Woo!
Yeah.
The
Boof.
the city, probably versus Wade was redacted, and
Mhm.
so the city is full of people causing problems with no benefit. The population is too big and crime is too high, so they allow crime. All crimes are legal for is it 24 hours or 12?
It's
For whatever set amount of time, all crimes are legal. That will cull the herd and let these criminals who are criminals because they're criminals
be
vent.
satiated.
Yeah.
So
Then you
that
can
might
wind
fit
your
in
friends in courts.
orange.
Maybe.
Seems kind of orangey. It's like an economic decision and based on like psychology, like the psychology of like. Well, I don't know how much they focus on like psychology, but to purge, to it's like a therapeutic thing for society.
The reason for it is both. It's economic. We need to cull the herd, and the ones that the red that is left in society can get their red out, and then go back to being amber for the rest of the time. Like go back to being inert. You can explode one day a year.
I think we should do along as part of this series, we should do like lightning roundy stuff where instead of going meme to movies, we go movies to meme. Just like here's a
Yeah,
weird horror movie. What altitudes are in this? That might be fun.
Hmm.
we have
Oh, we
like
should have said 7, but I guess that's suspense drama too.
And it's also
to feel some kind of way